We've made it to northern Saskatchewan. We're in good soil with our friends, the Webbers. Okay, let's go look for deer.
We'll see what happens. It's a magical time of year. And we're in a magical place. Looking for a jumbo. It's been an absolute battle. The struggle is real. Come on. Let's go deer hunting.
Live on the edge, 'cause brother, win or lose, it's all what to do with the chance you're given, yeah. Through the wind and rain, you feel your heart pounding. You got one shot, what you got? Tell me what's it gonna be? You gotta make the most of this opportunity. If others fail, make sure you succeed. On the edge.
The Edge is brought to you by Hornady, Vortex Optics, Snowy Mountain Rifles, G5 Outdoors, Prime Archery, Linex Canada, Kifaru International, Wolverine Guns and Tackle, Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow Experts, and these fine sponsors. Method Flow Products, High Mountain Seasonings, Off-Grid Food Company, Yokohama Tire Canada, Canis Athlete, Swellfish Outdoor Equipment.
Quiet Cat is the best hunting and overlanding e-bike in the world. Created from the bottom up to be overbuilt and overpowered. Don't be fooled by imitations. Quiet Cat, where the road ends, the adventure begins.
Well, welcome to this week's episode of The Edge. I'm your host, Steve Eklund, and we're on our way to northern Saskatchewan. See our good friends at the Weber Outfitting. Got some big deer spotted. We're gonna try to do it early season this year, so yeah, you know, just keep it right here. And we'll bring you some live deer hunting action. Land of the big whitetails. Here's hoping. Well, there you have it. We've made it to northern Saskatchewan. We're in good soil with our friends, the Webbers. We got Mark and Kelsey. Okay, let's go look for deer. This time, it's a little earlier in the year. Typically, we're hunting here in November with a blanket of snow on the ground and frigid temperatures. Now, we're up here in early October. We thought we'd come early and try an early season whitetail hunt here at the first part of October, so.
Well, that's a good sign. Nice buck out in this field. We can get in the bush, get some trail cameras set up. We might have a chance at this guy. We're just putting out the reconical cameras here tonight. I guess I should make sure we got cell service here. Close, one bar, so we'll see if they work on one bar. Yep, we're good to go.
It's not the easiest time in the world to hunt a big mature buck. October, they call it the October blues, but for a whitetail hunter, but we're gonna give it a shot and see what happens. Oh, that's a shooter. Yeah, it's velvet. Oh, dang, that's a shooter. That's close to 170-inch deer. I think we're in good shape for the week. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna get up early, do some scouting, hoping that this early season is a ticket for us on a big old mature whitetail. There's a TV moment. Mark has a theory that there's somewhat of a, I know you're gonna think I'm crazy, but somewhat of an early rut. I thought he was crazy too, but last night we took a tour around in the golden hour, and I'm telling you what, there was deer everywhere. I've heard about this mini rut for years now, you know, that he says happens the first part of October. And I just smile and yeah, Mark, yeah, great. And I'm telling you what, 7 years I've hunted here, and I've seen more big bucks and more action than I do during the peak of the rut in November. It's unexplainable. So I'm just kind of rolling with, I'm rolling with it right now. It's the mini rut. We're hunting the mini rut. Welcome to The Edge. I'm your host, Steve Eklund, and it's the rut. We're in October. Here we go. Let's do it.
Well, the first night in the stand, and one small 8-pointer kind of just cruising through. So, not bad, not great, but early first night of the hunt, like I said.
So Steve was kind of the star of the hunt this year. What do you think about all that went down that 2 weeks he was here?
He's no star.
Oh, this will be perfect. That's Cliffy's, right? Oh, yeah. So Cliffy's in checking cameras. I haven't met Cliff yet this year on this trip. So anyways, he's Next Level Hunter logoed up all the way around. Two bars, that should work. Cliffy.
He found it already.
Yeah, he took the one off the hood already. Yeah, there's still 3 on there. Chuck looks good, Cliffy. You owe me 40 bucks. Cliffy, you're all shy of me now. You're hiding behind the bike. What's the matter? You don't want to be on TV or what? Come on, come show everybody. Look at, this is my buddy Cliff, everybody.
Yeah, buddy.
This is, Cliff saves my bacon every year. Something, every year. Well, tonight we set up a spot that's kind of near and dear to my heart. I killed a buck, I think it was three seasons ago, called the Heavy 10 in this spot. And it's a really nice deer. Be kind of exciting to go in and at least sit for a night, see what it's like kind of early season.
Now we're gonna bail out of this projector.
Well, we're back where I shot Slim, and I'm just making some modifications this year. I just asked Cliffy to be the chainsaw man and cut me a couple lanes, so. As long as I got a clear path, like if an arrow ticks a branch or anything, it's gone, right? So you can kind of judge it from there. Most people at home would think I'm putting up a tree stand here, but I'm not. I'm putting up a 20-foot extension for the Reconical camera. Dean, we have a bar. 1 bar, 20-foot cord. Okay. Okay, the only other thing I need to do here is set up this one extra stand for a different wind. A shooting lane right out there, there's a bunch of little ones that have to come down. I hope you got that on camera. Felt like a man. This is the big one. This spot here is the reason why I started to look into these Reconicals. We got 1 bar of service, which isn't giving it a fair chance, but it's gonna work. Well, welcome back. We're back up here in northern Saskatchewan at Weber Outfitting, and as you can see, it looks a little different than the last time we were here. We came up first part of October, did a little bit of a hunt, got everything set up, but we're now middle of November, November 15th to be exact. Been a good morning so far. I haven't seen any does, which is kind of odd. But we saw 5 bucks, 5 different bucks. 1 decent buck. He had a little bit of width on him, but super young deer from what I could tell. Just needs a few more years maybe, but we'll see what happens. It's a magical time of year, and we're in a magical place. Looking for a jumbo. Well, we just got back to the shack. Sure enough, that wide 10-point come back in. He's not a deer that I think we're gonna kill. You know, I'd look at a deer like that 9 out of 10 times, and I'd go, no, he's too young. He's not the right age class. But after talking to the biologists up here in northern Saskatchewan, they were telling me that all the really big, high-scoring deer are usually 2.5 and 3.5 years old, which blows my mind. But anyway, that deer's just not what we're looking for. We'll give him a pass for this year. We're not gonna lie, I'm freezing. Problem with the bow hunt is, if you bulk up too much, you're not gonna be able to shoot. So, it's one of those things where you just gotta tough it out. I have never been this cold. -8 is all it was, but we had a steady 40-kilometer-an-hour wind all day. Well, we've just been sitting here, eating candy bars, trying to stay warm. I like a good candy bar once in a while. But this is ridiculous. First few days, lots of action. We're passing up really good bucks, like our second choice bucks from the trail cam picks that you guys have pulled and all the card pulls. Yeah. And from the 18th of November, shut down.
The rut was really late, so the bucks never came into the baits until like later. Even now, they're not all as much in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, that's what we noticed right out of the gates. I mean, again, when we first got here, it was almost like the seek phase was going when you could see a lot of deer moving around. There wasn't a lot of deer coming to the baits, but coming past the baits, chasing does around. But all of a sudden, it just kind of died off, and our big target bucks have disappeared.
Yeah.
We're seeing a lot of small immature bucks, which is a great crop for the future, you know, for years to come. But it sure didn't help us out this week.
No.
Been sitting in these trees freezing for the last 6 days. Told myself last night, you don't need a world record, you just want a good old mature buck. So the first one that comes in, hammer him. Then I get in here this morning and first thing, a beautiful 10-point comes in, mature buck. So I videoed him and let him walk. And now I'm sitting up here freezing again, wondering what in the world is wrong with me. But keep it right here. You're watching the edge. It's been an absolute battle. I don't know if it's lockdown or something weird going on, but either way, we're not seeing the mature bucks. We're seeing a lot of the small bucks. And I just can't believe that, you know, I've hunted this area long enough. They're here. They're definitely here. We're just not seeing them. You know, we're not making it any easier on ourselves because we're bow hunting. For the lack of better words, now we're just stuck in a rut. Looks like somebody got their handed to them. Where is Mac Daddy? Yet again, another small buck comes and goes out of my life. The struggle is real. Oh man, we're on day 12 now of what I thought was gonna be a 5 or 6 day hunt. I've only got 2 days left, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm tired. I get exhausted on this hunt. Long days. So my mood is kind of like a roller coaster. Trying to stay positive.
So you gonna shoot a deer today, Steve, or you're around for Christmas? You got wrap gifts for you.
I don't want to talk about it. Cliffy, what's your predictions for today, bud? Big deer?
Oh, be a something. Let's get your out of here.
Now I feel better. Things are back to normal.
We're seeing some deer this morning. Day 13. But all small bucks. I think I finally figured this thing out. I'll see you at the bottom. That's the 8-point that we've been sitting here waiting for. I think this is the 4th time we've seen him. I mean, he came in perfect. He actually came in right to the bait pile, 20 yards away, 22 yards. But when it came right down to it, I had my bow in my hand, and I just couldn't do it because I just don't think that deer is old enough to kill. All right, here comes a better 8-point. That might be a shooter.
Back. Back.
Can't do it. He's a young deer too. Thin horn. He's pretty wide though, out past his ears, but no shoot.
We saw one old buck. He's not a big scoring buck at all by any means, but he's definitely an old buck. He was gonna be a shooter for sure, and he came in, getting a full draw, looked down, my battery's flashing, you know, battery, low battery, low battery. And literally, as I'm at full draw and click, off it goes.
This is
So I had to hook everything back up, change a battery. Deer spooked off, came back, give me an opportunity for a split second at 45 yards. I just couldn't get the arrow cut loose. And then darkness came in on us, so.
Well, that's him, folks. I had him at 30 yards, and the freaking battery died. And that is all she wrote. Well, that's the conclusion of our hunt up here at Weber Outfitting in northern Saskatchewan. This is day 14 for us, and it's kind of the cheater day. I was supposed to be on the road early this morning, but we figured we'd come into the stand and give it one last shot for a few hours. And I can hear the bike coming now, so I'm just about to get picked up, and I'll make the journey home. But it's been a great couple of weeks up here. You know, we've had a lot of fun, always do, and I can't thank these folks at Weber enough for their hospitality. There was one big monster buck of the week, and who ended up with that one?
I did.
Good night. Oh, look at that thing.
Yep.
Your biggest buck to date.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And all by myself too.
And all by yourself. Pretty awesome. What a fantastic buck. I mean,
Yeah.
just, you know, not only antler size and inches of antler, but this is a nice old buck too.
It was.
Big old brow tines all gnarled up down here. Fantastic.
Yep.
This year we didn't cut a tag, but I'm already looking forward to next year. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of The Edge. I'm your host, Steve Eklund.
Woo! He's gone! About damn time!
The Edge is brought to you by Hornady, Vortex Optics, Snowy Mountain Rifles, G5 Outdoors, Prime Archery, Linex Canada, Kifaru International, Wolverine Guns and Tackle, Victory Archery, the Carbon Arrow Experts, and these fine sponsors. Method Flow Products, High Mountain Seasonings, Off Grid Food Company, Yokohama Tire Canada, Canis Athlete, Swellfish Outdoor Equipment.
Live on